I still remember the exact moment I signed up for the Shopify free trial. I was sitting at my desk, late at night, exhausted from a job that left me feeling like a ghost in my own life. It wasn't a bad job exactly. It just wasn't me. I knew I was capable of more. I just didn't know where to start. And that night, something about the idea of building something for myself, of finally having control, just wouldn't leave my mind. I had seen Shopify mentioned in YouTube videos and ads before, but I always assumed it was for people who already had a plan, a product, a following, something I didn't have. But then I saw a video that mentioned a free trial. No upfront cost, no risk, just a way to test things out and see what was possible. That small, simple offer felt like the invitation I had been waiting for. So I clicked. Setting up the account took maybe 2 minutes. I was expecting to feel overwhelmed by the interface, but instead, I felt something completely unexpected. Curiosity. It felt like I had just walked into a clean, empty workshop, and I was being handed the tools to build anything I wanted visit. I started playing around with themes, dragging blocks into place, adding fake products just to see how it looked. I didn't have a niche, no idea what I would sell, and honestly, I didn't care at first. What mattered was that I was doing something. And even though it was small, it felt like I was finally taking my life off pause. That night, I stayed up until almost 3 a.m. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I hadn't felt that in years. That kind of obsessive excitement, where you lose track of time because your brain is firing on all cylinders and you actually care about what you're working on. I started digging deeper the next day. I learned about dropshipping, print on demand, private label, all of it. I decided to start with print on demand because it felt like the lowest barrier to entry. I didn't have money to spend on inventory, and I definitely didn't want to deal with shipping things myself. So I made a few basic shirt designs. Nothing special, just words and fonts and ideas I thought were cool. I connected a free design app to my store, uploaded the designs, and just like that, my products were live. I previewed my store on mobile, and I swear, my heart skipped a beat. It didn't look like a beginner project, it looked real. Like something you'd actually see on Instagram or TikTok. I couldn't stop smiling. It didn't matter that no one had visited the site yet, just knowing that I built it from scratch with zero experience. It made me feel like a different person already. That's when I realized something. The free trial hadn't just given me access to a platform, it had given me access to momentum. I started waking up with purpose. I had something to look forward to. I started watching YouTube tutorials every day, reading blog posts, studying copywriting, branding, how to set up email flows, how to optimize checkout pages. It became a full-blown obsession. But I'll be honest, that first week wasn't all excitement. I ran my first Facebook ad and lost 20 bucks with zero sales. It stung. I was discouraged. I thought maybe I wasn't cut out for this. Maybe I wasn't smart enough or skilled enough or whatever enough to make this work. But deep down, I knew the real reason I wanted to quit was fear. Fear that I would keep failing. Fear that the dream might not be real. But then I remembered something. Even if I failed, even if the whole thing crashed and burned, I was still learning more in a week than I had in months at my 9 to 5. And for once, I was learning on my terms. So I didn't quit. Instead, I doubled down. I rewrote my product descriptions to sound more human. I swapped out the images for cleaner mock-ups. I changed my headline from funny graphic tee to something more emotionally triggering, something that made people feel something. I stopped running random ads and started learning how to target actual people who might care. I started treating the store like a brand, not just a side hustle. And slowly, it started working. The first sale didn't come from a viral ad or a shout out. It came quietly. I got the notification on my phone while I was making lunch. Just a little ping that said, "You've made a sale." I thought it was a glitch. I opened the Shopify app and there it was. Someone had bought one of my shirts. $18, $4 profit. And yet it felt like $1,000,000. I just stood there in my kitchen holding my phone and staring at the screen like it was some kind of magic trick. That moment changed me, not because of the money, but because it proved that this wasn't just an idea anymore. It was real. I had created something from scratch and a complete stranger decided it was worth paying for. That's a feeling you never forget. From there, I didn't blow up overnight. There were more failed ads, more design changes, more frustrating days where nothing worked. But something had shifted inside me. I wasn't just reacting anymore, I was adapting. Every mistake became a lesson, every small win, a stepping stone. It's hard to explain, but I felt like I was finally in motion after being stuck in place for so long. What Shopify's free trial gave me wasn't a store, it was a mirror. It showed me that I wasn't lazy, I wasn't unmotivated, I just hadn't found anything worth waking up for. And once I did, the energy came pouring out of me. I started building systems. I automated emails. I tested different landing pages. I reinvested profits into better tools. I even started learning how to edit videos so I could promote my brand on TikTok and Instagram. Before I knew it, I wasn't just running a store. I was running a business. A real one. Built on my time, my decisions, and my voice. Eventually, I had a month where I made over $3,000 in profit. That was the turning point. I still remember transferring that money from my Shopify account to my bank. I didn't quit my job that day, but I started planning for it. That's when the dream started feeling like a plan. That's when I started seeing the ceiling above me break. And again, it wasn't just the income, it was what the income represented. Freedom, possibility, control over my time, my ideas, my future. I started thinking bigger. What other stores could I build? What skills could I teach? How could I help other people feel what I was feeling? Suddenly, the goal wasn't just to make money, it was to keep evolving. That's why this story matters. Because I know there are people watching this right now who feel stuck. People who think they're too late or too inexperienced, or that they don't have what it takes to start. And I want to tell you, I thought the same thing until I clicked that free trial button. You don't have to know everything. You don't need a business degree. You don't need to be an expert. You just need a reason to try. Shopify gave me a space to experiment, to fail safely, to build without pressure. And in that space, I found out who I really was. And here's what's wild. Even if I never made a single sale, the version of me that came out on the other side would still be better than the one who started. More confident, more curious, more capable. That's the real gift of starting something. The income is great, but the internal shift, that's what stays with you. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. That little voice in your head telling you to try, listen to it, because you never know what's on the other side of that first step. For me, it was Shopify's free trial. And yeah, it changed my life. Not because of the money, but because it woke me up. And now that I'm awake, I'm never going back.